What up, YouTube? It's your boy, it's Carter TV. Back with part 3, the final prison school. All right. So the four kids that are left, you know what I'm saying? They start their wrath. They start their revenge. They start getting at motherfuckers. They start with a few of the prison guards. They start having calling out fake shit going on, like, oh, he's having a seizure, he's having a seizure. Julissa was saying that Justin was having a seizure on the floor and Justin was fake shaking on the floor. Then Britt came out of nowhere and just bashed one of their heads in. Boop! Boop! And they beat the shit out of him. Now, they started beating on guards, but they didn't know which guards, raped Daniel. So technically, they were trying to find out who did it by asking questions as they was beating them up and shit. After, getting at some of the guards reported to the warden that, there's a few kids that's going around beating people up. They didn't know who the kids exactly was because the 4 of them was sneaking behind them and beating them up and then like blinding them their vision so they couldn't see who was attacking them. So they was, they was getting them good. After dealing with a few of the guards for the past like 3 days, they didn't get no answers. You know what I'm saying? So a couple of other kids who was wondering, like, knew what was going on, they told them, like, that girl Cindy had something to do with it. The guards used her. The guards that did that to that boy, y'all friend, they used her to get to him. Because Daniel had a little crush on her. So Brittany was like, that makes sense. Because the day it happened, she came by the table and she just smiled at us and kept moving. None of them picked up on that until that moment. So they decided to go at her. They sent Julissa, since she is the quietest of the group. And the girl ain't going to suspect nothing because she don't think she's much of a threat. Half the whole prison school think them little motherfuckers is pussy. But they don't know. They on a raft right now. So Julissa steps to Cindy. Hey, Cindy, what's going on? Says, hey, Julissa. What's up? Oh, nothing. I was just, wondering, like, so I heard Daniel used to like you. Yeah, but he's gone now. Such a shame. You miss your friend already? Poor baby. She starts to throw it in her face. Poor baby. Only if you could have been there to hear the screams. So Julissa was like, I know, I would have enjoyed it just as long as with you. And when she said that, she kind of threw Cindy back with that, like, what? It's like, yeah, I ain't like being you neither. Neither did the rest of us. We thought he was weak. We thought he was a punk. We thought he was a fake little gangster. And then he ended up in here and he just turned to, a big Barney lover. It's just crazy. Tell me more about what happened to him. So Cindy's like, you for real? She like, tell me more. Who was there? Who did it? How was it? Did he scream bloody murder? Did he cry for his mommy? Did he scream in agony? So she was like, Cindy started to get a little scared now because Julissa's whole aura, her face, it changed. It had a big Joker grin smile on it with the eyebrows down. Like she was just looking at the girl and the girl was just like taken back, but she wasn't expecting that. She was expecting Julissa to be one of the ones that, be a little upset, emotional about the situation, but apparently she wasn't. She was more intrigued, and she was, playing a mind game on Cindy. She was using reverse psychology on her. So Cindy was just like, I don't want to tell anymore. She was like, no, where are you going now? I think it's best if you tell me. She's like, I'm not telling you anything. I'm not telling you anything. Get off me before I tell Wendy, and Wendy will handle you. So as Cindy decides to walk past her, she said, when are you going to handle me? Right? So she gave the cue for the rest of the kids to leave the room. Get out. So all them little niggas, get out. So they all looked at her like she was crazy. Then y'all fucking hear me? I said, get the fuck out, you pimp squeaks. You little bitches. She started tossing chairs and shit, so they scattered out. No, not you, Cindy. You stay. She said, I don't have to stand for this. Here come Justin. He stepped in. Boop. Where you going, Cindy? So she tried to get out another way. Here come Britt. She stepped in. Then Jake stepped out the closet. So Cindy, tell us more about Daniel's incident. And maybe we'll forget you ever knew anything. So she started panicking, backing into a corner like, I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I was just told to get him to the room. Who told you to get him there? It was the guards. Which ones? Then she started naming all 3 of the guards that was in it. Now, some of the guards there, they prey on the girls there, especially the much older girls, 17-year-old ones. They prey on them. They're pedophiles. They're pedophiles with fucking badge and, you know, uniform on. You know what I'm saying? But those 3 guys, they like the little boys. You know what I'm saying? They like little boys. And Daniel was not the first victim, but his first victim they killed. You know what I'm saying? They normally would, you know, take a turn on a little boy, make sure he's good, and then, you know, send him back on his way. That's why none of the little kids ever spoke or was out of line, because they would get handled that sort of way and they wasn't feeling it. And if they told their parents, it'd be worse on them because they got to live with that shit there and their parents couldn't help them. So majority of them took it, but Daniel, he didn't know what was in for him. So she told him what it was. They found out. Julissa didn't punch Cindy's face so hard in, it's like her eyes almost connected in the middle with each other. Boom! And the girl broke down and started crying in pain. Ah, my face, my face. That's for Daniel, you little bitch. Then she kicked in her cooch. Boop! And left that bitch there crying on the floor. She had blood gushing down her forehead and shit. Left the little girl there. So after that, Britt was like, her next step, she's going to go to Wendy. Now we got to prepare for her. We know what guards did it. Let's prepare for Wendy now. So now they got a plan to get the 3 guards. You know what I'm saying? They had a plan to get the 3 guards. And they also was prepping themselves for Wendy. And the final thing was to also get at the warden. So the warden would have been a hard, you know, target because she was Mrs. Untouchable. So as they plan for the 3 guards, they get them all one by one. They set up traps. They use the little kids because they found out they're pedophiles and they like little boys. So they lured one of them in, had one of the little boys run around naked in front of them. He got aroused real fast and wanted the little boy. So when the little boy ran into one of the empty rooms, it was in the dark. So he was like, come on out. You know the routine. I got to have your little ass. Bring me that little fresh booty hole here. He's talking in the dark, not knowing Britt, Jake, Justin, Lisa, they was in that room waiting on him. So the little boy was like, I'm right here, bent over ready. Pull your pants down. So that's Jake using his female voice. Pull your pants down and come stick it right in this hole. It's nice and wet and tender and tight for you. So the guy was getting turned on. He started pulling it out. He put spit on his hand, jerked it a little bit. I'm coming right in, little boy. I'm coming right in. Jake stepped out with a whole chair and bashed it right across his fucking face. Boom! Knocked him completely the fuck down. What the fuck is going on? Ah, shit, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck is going on? He's like, then Britt stepped out. You like raping little boys, huh? Oh, shit. Then Justin was like, oh, shit. You know you done fucked up now, right? Daniel was our friend, you bastard. He's like, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Britt, she showed that man no mercy. She took a pair of scissors and cut the tip of his penis off. Snip. Shipped that shit right off. All you heard was him screaming in agony. Ah! And they left him there. The next dude they got, you know what I'm saying? They used 2 little boys for him. And it took him a little minute, but he came around. You know what I'm saying? They got him in a secluded area. And what they did was they pinned him down. They got him down, right? They pinned him down. They took some of the tools from the hardware classroom and they held him down. And they took some chemicals like Clorox, They took a little bit of powder of Ajax, some bleach. They took a lot of them chemical stuff, right? They put the holes that you use to spray your garden with, plugged it in his ass, and then they stuck that liquid shit down his asshole. And he screamed in agony. You know what I mean? That's them chemicals in his ass tore his whole insides up. He had to be rushed to the infirmary where he died from his injuries. These kids was being fucking ruthless for their friend. And they only known that little boy for a short period of time. But they was all in the same boat together. You know what I'm saying? Each one of them got knocked down. The last one was the one who Daniel, put pause on. That was the one that really gave it to Daniel. They said the worst. As all of them guys was, being tortured and everything, they also gave up, details on why it went down, because he liked it, Daniel. He wanted to keep Daniel around, but being that Daniel was such a fighter, he had to put Daniel down, and he had to make sure Daniel remembered it the best way he could. So what they did to him was they set him up with a whole bunch of little boys in there. You know what I'm saying? Instead of him getting tortured or anything like that, they set him up. You know what I'm saying? They had all the little boys come together and they copped a plea. And he told them, like, he been raping us, this and that. Third, it was an investigation on him then. Cops came, they snagged him up. You know what I'm saying? He ends up going to jail. He ends up doing life in jail. But in the midst of him doing life in jail, a couple of the kids, they had gangster cousins in there that found out. And boy, they went medieval on his ass in that jail. He went to jail for life, and they sent him in the section with all the lifers. So all them lifers, fresh new booty. And that jail he went to, each of them inmates on that lifers unit, they took a turn raping him. Raping that man one by one. And then leaving little cut marks on his body for him to remember it. Slip, slip, slip. Each man that raped him left a slip mark. Slip, slip, slip. He was in the infirmary for 3 months after that. That man will never touch a little boy ever again in his motherfucking life after that. So after those 3 guys was handled, Wendy found out that the guards was being taken down. And these guards was like people that she had under her wing. Wendy was on her way of getting out of there at the age of 14. She'd been in there since she was like 8, 10 years old. She was on her way of getting out. That shit was put on pause. They put out a little document saying that she was bullying people, her behavior hasn't changed, and they told her they was pushing her sentence back for another year. That was the first step of getting at Wendy. That fucked Wendy up. She was on a rampage after that. After that, they started tampering with Wendy's shit. Started digging in her shit, stealing her shit, breaking her shit. All this was happening in one good week. She thought, like, people was turning on her. So she ain't know who to go after. You know what I'm saying? She ain't know who to trust no more. She was losing it. Snapping on everybody, snapping on the friends she knew since she got there. They basically wanted to isolate her and put her in a place where she felt like she was alone. You feel me? Them kids was smart. They didn't really do cruel shit. They just isolated her. They put her mental mindset in a alone place where she felt alone. She had nobody. She was depressed. She would break down. She was going insane because she felt like she had nobody. She felt like she couldn't trust nobody. They fucked her mental up bad. Within a week, they did that little girl dirty. She was losing it, pulling out her hair, scratching up her face, calling out mommy, calling out friends, people turning on her. She didn't wash her ass. She was smelling. She was just alone. You know what I'm saying? And then, how you see the bums on the street begging for change? She was begging for friends. Can you be my friend? Can you be my friend? They made fun of her. And then Whitney was like, y'all did this to me. Y'all did this. Y'all took everything from me. And they just looked at her like, we ain't do nothing. We new here. She's like, fuck all that new shit. You guys been here long enough and you're still here. You're going to die in here. Like she was talking to Brittany. So right around that time, all 4 of them was getting visits. It was unsuspected visits that they were getting. You know what I'm saying? And each of them had a visit from a lawyer. This lawyer decided to be all their lawyers on their case to get them out. So each one of them didn't say nothing to each other because they didn't want each one of them to feel bad to know that they was getting out. So they didn't say nothing, but not knowing like they was all getting out at the same time. Doing this, the warden found out, and she wanted to know how information was getting leaked out, but she didn't know where it was coming from. So she attended on getting rid of them 4 bastards because there was an investigation on her and her school now. It was an investigation. What also had happened is cops put in undercover detective in there. They put 2 undercover detectives in there. And then one of the detectives used his child to go in undercover to be like a fake kid who had behavior issues just to see what was going on. This child was about 10 years old and he was undercover. He was just there to observe what's going on in the school. The warden didn't know that. One of the guards, undercover cop, and they was finding out information little by little by little. And they was noticing how she was treating the kids and what she was doing and stealing. She had a lot of shit she was going on with. Stealing, smuggling drugs, having some of the kids take drugs, you know, to keep them back in there so she could keep running up her school. Her school was her source of money. You feel what I'm saying? This lady was corrupt as a motherfucker. She was brutal. Only thing she didn't do was kill the kids. You know what I mean? But she abused the fuck out of them and she abused her power. God found out. And he told his peoples, and it was time for them to bring her down. In the midst of them trying to bring her down, Wendy found out who did what to the guards, because Cindy told. And Wendy went to the warden. And when she went to the warden, she was like, I know who got rid of your guards. I know who got rid of your guards. It was them damn kids. It was Justin. It was Jake. It was Brittany, and it was Julissa. So the warden was like, I knew something was going on. I knew something was fishy with them. They've been quiet awfully for like the past 2 weeks. They must be out for revenge for their friend, Daniel. So she was about to go at them. It got to the point where right before she was about to go after them, the cops had came. You know what I mean? The cops came. They came to lock her up. And when she found out they was coming, she grabbed her little pistol and she went for them 4 kids. They was in the yard when it happened. They was in the yard. They was chilling. They was talking. They was playing with the other kids. The other kids finally started to accept them and wanted to, you know, be cool with them. In the midst of all this happening, the warden comes outside. You 4 little bastards. She come out with her gun and the kids are scattering. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. She shot Julissa right in the chest. Boom. She shot Jake 2 times in his back. Boom. She shot Jake in the head. Boom. And the only one was left was Brittany. You feel me? The only one was left was Brittany. And Wendy was like, Dad, do it. Do it. Kill that stupid bitch. Kill her. This is what you want? You gonna kill a kid? She said, bitch, you ain't a kid no more. You're an adult. You 18. You 18. I got so much backup. They won't even know you was missing. So the warden was losing it, right? Right before she could kill Brittany, Julissa got up, right? Julissa got up and jumped on her, and the gun went off in the air. Poof. So then Brittany jumped in. Wendy tried to grab the gun. Brittany just straight mollywopped her. Bing! Dropped her little ass. Right? Dropped her little ass. She was like, oh, shit, that hurt. So she picked up the gun. The warden then pushed her thumb into the hole where Julissa was shot, making that girl scream in agony. Ah, my shoulder. Threw her off her. Kicked the girl in the face. And when the warden was about to get up, Brittany came from behind her and smacked her right in the back of the head with the gun. Boom, knocked her back down. Knocked her right back down. Wendy had a little shank in her hand. And she shanked Brittany right in the back. And she shanked her again in the leg. Knocking her down. So Wendy comes around, was like, I thought you were going to get you, tall, doofy bitch. I told you I was going to get you. Justin, who was shot twice, he jumps up and drop kicks her little ass. Boop! Send her flying backwards. Right? Brittany had dropped the gun, but the warden picked it up. The warden picked it up. And before she could finish both of them off, shot rang out. Boop! It was a sniper that killed the warden. The warden died right there. Cops came and they were telling Whitney to put that shank down. She didn't want to put it down. She got hit with a BB gun with them big ass pellets, them pellet guns. They knocked her little ass down. She didn't get back up. She was hurting. The kids ended up going to the hospital. Jake ended up dying because he was shot in the head. Brittany ended up getting out. Julissa ended up getting out. Justin ended up getting out. And them getting out, it changed their life. That's what I'm saying. They changed their life and went on a better path because they didn't want to see no place like that ever again. You know what I'm saying? They all three met up about a year later. All three of them met up, talked about how good their life is going right now. They in school, they maintaining. Brittany was going to college and stuff like that. And they all met up to, to show respects to Daniel and Jake, who died in that prison school. And them three made it out. You know what I'm saying? They turned their life around after that, man. It's a prison school. It's your boy Carter TV, man. I'm out.